Folks, welcome to the beautiful world of Breath of the Wild. And as you can probably tell by the title of this video, this is us saying goodbye to Breath of the Wild because as it stands, it is currently May 11th, 2023, and tomorrow is the release date of Breath of the Wild 2, Tears of the Kingdom. So I thought I'd, stop in and do a little video saying goodbye to one of the most important games of the last few years for me personally. I think I talked about it at some point, but I have 500 something hours on this game, and currently we're playing on my first save. So this save goes all the way back to 2017. I have completed all the shrines, pretty much everything except the Korok seeds, just because I don't really feel like that's necessary. But I think in this video, I just would want to talk a little bit about my experience with Breath of the Wild and what has led me to this point with Zelda, and some of the good memories and everything. So yeah, but first, I think we can start by doing something that I think is so cool that they added, which is this Hero's Path mode. So as you can see, I have played this save file quite a bit. It's actually almost full on the Hero's Path thing. So we're gonna rewind here. How do you? Oh, here we go. There we go. Let's zoom all the way back to the beginning. We might not go through all of it, but just to see my path throughout the years of playing this save file. Okay, so we started obviously at the Shrine of Resurrection, and this is me dying. My first death was, I think, climbing back down the tower or something like that. I did a bunch of fast traveling. Okay, and then I remember dying a bunch over here, taking on the moblins, and then I think climbing over here maybe. Hold on, let's see. I think I die a bunch over here. Yep. Oh, maybe that was the only one. Okay, I thought I died more there. Let's see, yeah. We do the whole Great Plateau stuff, which honestly the Great Plateau is one of my favorite areas of the game. It's just so well designed as a starter area. Oh, I died a bunch to the stone talus that's over here. 3 times, I think it was. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, 3 times to 1 stone talus. Yeah, sounds about right for a beginner. And then, let's see, I think... I don't remember. Why did I do this? I went across the bridge and then back over, and then, yeah, I think I go to Kakariko now. And then I remember... Oh, okay, I guess I went over here first, to Hateno. But I remember that Zora's was the first place that I went. But I remember, before I really knew what the game was all about, the main thing I wanted to do was find the Korok Forest, because I love the Koroks. And originally my plan was to go to Death Mountain first, but that's not how it turned out, and I don't remember here why. I think there's a Hinox there, which is why I'm going to die a bunch more. And then I get way too close to the castle, die a bunch to Guardians. Okay, and then I do remember going over to this tower, and then I guess I loop back around to the bottomless swamp, and then yes, this is where, okay, so I went over here, and then there's a Zora that sits around here who must have picked me up and told me to go to Zora's domain, which, yeah, and then I went up to the tower first. Yeah, I remember this. Yep, then we went over to Zora's domain, died a bunch to the the Lionel up there. We did the whole the Guardian thing there. I guess I went back over here. I can't remember. Okay, did I? Yeah, then I went to Gerudo Valley, and then I went to the Rito after this. Yeah. I should have been keeping track of how many times I died. I do remember this very clearly too, going on an adventure up through the mountains here, and then flying over here, which I thought was so cool because there's the little shrine thing up at the top there. Another good memory of this game. I'm just gonna fast forward here while I'm talking. So this came out 2017. So I was a sophomore in high school when this came out. Um, and since it was on the Switch, I could bring it to school. And I had like a study hall every day. So, oh my god, I died way more than I remember dying. um, so I brought it to school, and I had a friend who didn't have a Switch because he missed like the pre-order window for that when they were selling out like immediately. Um, okay, and then yeah, I went up to Death Mountain, and I can't remember how quickly after. I think I wanted to get all the memories. Oh wait, did I go to Death Mountain before I went to? No, I mean I went up there, but I definitely didn't complete it first. I don't think. Yeah. Um. Yeah. See, I definitely didn't complete it. I looked around. At least I think. Am I tripping on everything I think I know about myself? Maybe. But yeah, I would bring my Switch to school, and we would play Breath of the Wild together, like in study hall, like in the library. Great memories. And then once Mario Kart came out, I remember holding like a whole Mario Kart tournament in the library, like on the last day of school sophomore year. It was so much fun. Just like that was like the magic of the Switch back in the day. Like nothing you could ever do was quite like that, since the DS. And even then, it wasn't the same because it wasn't on one screen, and everybody had to bring it. And yeah. So there's a lot of magic that surrounded the Switch. Oh, God. Well, yeah, let's just see. Let's paint the whole map here. Um, I've obviously done a lot on this save file, but I think I'm going to try to go to some of my favorite locations in this little memory episode to like be like, oh, this is like a place that I remember. Um, but let's start here on the Great Plateau, obviously. One of the first things I remember about this game was before it even came out, all the hype and build up to its release, and specifically all the theories about where it was going to fall in the timeline, which I don't know if we ever got a concrete answer. I think the closest we got is that it is the culmination of all the timelines. Like this is like the timeline after all three of the other timelines come together, which is I think pretty cool. Like, it kind of fixes. Can you hit that link? Okay, fine. Kind of fixes what we all had problems with in the original timeline, and it also answers why there's Koroks from Wind Waker, and there's mention of Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword is mentioned all at once. Oh, hey, there's the dragon. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing that it mixes them all together. But yeah, and so I remember seeing the Temple of Time, and it's all dilapidated and stuff, which was like in the trailers, and that was like the first thing. Like, okay, where does this fall on the timeline? Because this is very clearly the Ocarina of Time, Temple of Time. So that complicated things immediately. But I love this. This is the first thing that you see in the game. Such good design that this is like, it's immediately showing you that this is not what you're expecting of a Zelda game. Like, it's showing a ruins of something that's kind of a staple of the most popular Zelda game, which is just so smart in my opinion. Yeah, so this whole area I just think is so cool because, we have like the perfect tutorial area. And maybe that's one of my main problems with the game is that the rest of the game doesn't feel quite as, the world isn't quite as made to be messed around with, like chopping trees down to can I? There we go. Chopping trees down to like bridge gaps and stuff. You really don't ever do that again, except on the Great Plateau. But it was just something special about this area. And I am just cranking through these guys, yeah. Like, I did all the DLC, so I have the most powered up Master Sword. I don't want the Boko bow here. Let's just use this. But like, you can roll down the explosives over here and then blow up these guys. Like, that kind of, it's just so well designed, this whole area. And I actually have only done the DLCs once, so I have very little memory of like how they work. I guess isn't it like it like made 4 new shrines and then you had to take on the new dungeon, right? I don't exactly remember, but it does unlock the master cycle 0. Oh, I'm out of gas. I don't actually remember how this works either. I have not driven this thing since I beat the DLCs all that time ago. So let's see if I can. Don't you just put stuff? Oops. Add. Isn't this how you do it? Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Oh my god, this is so mind blowing. And I think, okay, so when it comes to Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, I know very little. I have not, unlike this game, looked at any really of the promotional. Am I gonna die here? No. I have not really looked at any of the promotional stuff. I watched the trailers, like the story trailers, and that's it. But I have seen bits and pieces just as I look around the internet of like it looks like you can like build vehicles and stuff like that, which is really fascinating. Oh god. So I'm going into it pretty blind. Did you guys roll that fucking rock at me? Assholes. But I'm very excited. Obviously, I'm going to be playing through it. Hopefully, it will be arriving at my house tomorrow on the day it comes out, because I got the deluxe edition pack, so maybe I'll do an unboxing of that too. But yeah, I can't say because it's GameStop, and I haven't ordered something from GameStop in a long time since, they started going under. So we'll see how quickly it comes to me. But I think right now, let's head on over to the castle, because that's one of my other favorite spots in the game. I would say probably objectively the best area of the game, just because it's designed so intricately and so cool, and there's just so much to love about it. And like the fact that it's always the center place of your journey, like it's always that thing that you can look back on. It's like, okay, I have to level up to a point where I can take that thing on. Let's see, I have 21 ancient arrows. Let's fucking kill some guardians while we're over here. Come here, big boy. Come here. You gotta look at me. Look at me. This guy's not very smart, apparently. Hey, guy. Never gets old. The music. Oh, I'm gonna miss this game. I've had a very long and somewhat complex relationship with the game, because I am a major Zelda fan, and that it wasn't always like that. Where did my bike go? Did it despawn? It wasn't always like that. I actually didn't really play Zelda games as a kid. But when it came to 2015, I got a Wii U, which was very bizarre because I was a big Xbox, like, PC guy. But I had watched a playthrough of Wind Waker HD, and I was like, I have to play this game. I have to. And then I played Wind Waker, and then I started playing all the Zeldas. And I played most of them now, all the 3D ones. I haven't finished Skyward Sword, though, because I really don't like that one. But so like this was coming out at my peak Zelda hype moment. Like I was super into Zelda when this was coming out, and the fact that they were going to be modernizing it was just a whole nother layer of like excitement. So yeah, this game I was super hyped for, and I think that to a certain extent is why it could never live up to my expectations. But also, whoops, I meant to jump the bike, not myself. Man, this thing runs out of fuel pretty fast. I forgot about that. But I also think that there are some things that this game didn't do as well as other Zelda games. Mainly, the dungeons are very lame compared to other Zelda games, and I think that's pretty objective. I don't know if anybody would disagree on that. Like, yes, the idea of the dungeons being like these giant things. Okay, you can't do that. You can't do that. Okay. All right, come here, buddy. Oh shit! I was trying to jump. Ooh, ooh. There we go. Yeah, the idea of the dungeons being this giant like moving areas is cool, but it just, I don't know. It's like, I feel like it kind of misses the idea of a lot of the dungeons. Like the puzzles aren't really puzzles at all. And like, yeah. The other thing is the story. And the story I can speak a lot more to now. Like I can put my qualms with it in better words now that I have a degree in creative writing and literature. Because essentially the game approaches storytelling non-linearly, which is fine. I mean, it's not possible to do a non-linear story, right? Charizard. Do not remember naming one Charizard, but okay. Can we not get shot by this guy, please? There we go. Oh, the music. The music. I can't hear super well because I haven't really figured out a good way to do... oh, shit. I hit him in the eye. Haven't figured out a good way to record on Switch yet. Don't shoot me, don't shoot me, don't shoot me. But yeah, the... what was I talking about? Oh, the non-linear story. Yeah, it's just... It kind of fails in a lot of aspects to WoW, I feel like. Oh, okay. It's rude. But not in all aspects. Like, it has a lot of emotion in it, but like, if you were a big fan of Zelda when the trailers were coming out and everything, I'm sure, like me, you bawled at the trailer at the Switch presentation in January 2017. Like, just cried your eyes out, because I certainly did. And I have no problem admitting that, because Zelda cries in it. And, like, that's something that never has happened in a Zelda game before. Like, that kind of brute emotion, unheard of. When it comes to Zelda, like, and Nintendo also, like, no, that's never, Zelda's never, like, showed something like that. And just the animation, it was so new and fascinating. But then you get to the actual game and, like, what it looks like, and it's, like, this couple second, like, it's just not the same, because the non-linear story... Okay, so, let me go English major on you guys real quick. Stories are made of the same essential pieces, and obviously for every time somebody makes an essential piece, somebody else is going to come along to break it apart, and like, that's just storytelling, is you know, changing what we think is natural for storytelling. But essentially all stories boil down to, like, build up, climax, and then conclusion, resolution. And because this is a non-linear story, and you can find the memories in whatever, like, order you need to or want to, for the most part, it makes it so those climactic moments don't necessarily happen when they actually should happen in terms of chronological order. So that kind of makes, like, these high emotion sections like Zelda crying just not feel the same, because you don't have all the context unless you do the memories in the perfect order, which you would never know how to do unless you looked it up or just stumbled along. You got incredibly lucky. So that's kind of where I fall on the how does Breath of the Wild story compare to other Zelda games, and especially considering, like, I just love the Zelda story so much. It was kind of hard to see that, but I also like that they tried something new with it, so I kind of fall in the middle with it. I don't know necessarily where I fall. But I know that it wasn't the same. It did not stand out to me as much as other Zelda storylines did, especially Wind Waker just being one of my favorite stories in general, video game stories. But yeah, that's not to say that it didn't succeed. I mean, I felt emotion, absolutely. But in terms of what made Zelda Zelda at the time, like, I can totally understand why some people didn't necessarily see this as a Zelda game. It was something new. Now, looking back, I definitely think it's more Zelda than I was giving it credit for at the time. But in terms of gameplay, there's where some of the other stuff comes in. Like, I really dislike the like crafting system in this game. I think that in some ways it does too much to alter the gameplay. In other ways, it does too little. So for example, I'm not gonna necessarily read this, but this is Zelda Study, which I think is so cool that you can come in here. So like in the game, you can don't see me. You can you know, craft what I have here, like a ton of these food things, which essentially makes the game have no difficulty at all after you get off the Great Plateau. Like, you should never really... I know I'm saying this right after I showed you guys how many times I died, but once you know what you're doing... Oh, I don't want to do this. That's going to make me restart the boss fight. I don't need to do the boss fight again. Once you have... What was I talking about? Once you have, like, understood the gameplay loop, you should really never die, because it's very simple to... Okay, you get hurt, you pause the game, you eat something that heals you up, and then you restart. You should really never die, considering how easy it is to heal yourself, and how it doesn't affect the gameplay at all. It is all done in the pause menu, which I just think takes you out of the action. Really dislike that. And I know they altered the cooking mechanic a little bit in 2, from what I've heard, but I don't know how, so hopefully they've changed that. Oh god, don't fall in there. Where is this? I don't want to go in there. So yeah, we'll see when I start playing the game if they fix that. That was my major gameplay qualm, was it's just too easy. The gameplay... The difficulty curve should not be backwards, which it definitely is in this game. But yeah. I also love that you can come up here and like see the goopy like fucking tentacles where Ganon is growing. Like, how cool is this? They just thought of everything when it came to the Hyrule Castle area. I just think it's so cool. Like, just how cool is this? Like, it's all like tentacly and growing. But yeah, maybe let's see. Let's go to the top of the castle here. And... Okay, or I can fall into the goop and get hurt. Let's see. And then maybe we'll go to some of the villages, because I think the villages are so cool in this game. So much more than they were in other games. Oh, hey, Korok Seed I haven't done yet. Oh, but I don't... Wait, where is it? It's going to be on top of that tower. Yep. Alright, we can do this. Yeah. Oh, we're going to get plenty of time. There we go. Yeah, like I said, I haven't gotten all the Korok Seeds just because I don't... It's not really necessary. I think I maxed out my carrying capacity. I don't know what the max is on these. Maybe I don't have all of them, but... Oh, God. So yeah, the villages, well, I guess if we're going to talk about them, might as well go do them now. Let's go to, oh, yeah, I have to leave area. I forgot how this works. The villages, I think, are so cool. Tons of side quests, just like you would want in one of the older Zelda games. So I was super happy to see that they brought that back. And actually expanded on it in many of the instances. So should I go to them in order of when I did them? I guess we should, yeah. Let's go to the Rito Village, which is, I think, my favorite easily. As much as I love the Rito, I think that the Rito Zora Village is my favorite, just based on the sheer wow factor of it. Stretching. Yeah. 330 Korok Seeds. I think you need 400 to be maxed out on all your carrying capacities, maybe? I don't know exactly. Oh, and also, if you haven't noticed, I am wearing the Wind Waker outfit. I have all of them, I think, except I got one amiibo. Oh, the Skyward Sword. Yeah, I never plugged that one in. I do have it now, but I never used it. Um, I think favorite. I mean, I love the. Oh, did I not plug in the? I thought I put in the. I thought I put in the Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and oh, maybe not. Maybe that was after this. I don't remember. Okay. Well, either way, I have a bunch of them amiibo, and I spent so much time leveling this stuff up to see what the or leveling the cap with the wild and everything up to max to see what their like set bonus was. And guess what it is? I mean, it's the same as the Wind Waker one. It's just Master Sword Beam Up, which is actually completely useless. So, yeah, that was disappointing to say the least. But here, why don't we put on? This was kind of my fit. Like it looks kind of like old Zelda, new Zelda combined. You got the green. Love that you can dye stuff in this game. But yes, let's take a look over here. Like, isn't this so cool? Like the giant fish, and like the expansive walkways all around, and like you can climb the waterfalls all around it. And it all leads up to like. Well, here, let's actually go look. Let's take a little journey around here. I don't know necessarily how long this episode is going to be. I have stuff to do. Maybe like I can do another 15 minutes or so. But yeah, like there's tons of side quests to do all over the place. Each village has like the main chief guy, which I think is so cool. Like they all are super, or I shouldn't say guy, chief person, because in Gerudo it's all girls. Whoops. Yeah, and they have like these things around. Let's see. See if I can speed run my way over there. But yeah, there's just so much to do in each of the villages, and like they have their own personalities and stuff in each village too. Let's put on the Zora tunic. And then collecting all the fucking outfits is so cool too. Like, it's just, this game. I'm fangirling over it. I'm so excited to see what they did in the new one. And I think it's actually good. Like, usually I don't care about spoilers too much, but I think it's actually good in terms of gameplay that I literally have no idea what I'm going into. Basically at all. I know the, like, Link loses his hand or whatever, like, plot thing, and, like, the broken Master Sword and stuff like that, but I know very little other than that. But yeah, let's scoot on up to the top here so I can get an overhead view of the village. Yeah, and then there's like these Zora ruins up here, which is where you get the Zora helm. And you can just like look how fucking massive this is, and it has the dams over there, and they all have the guardian that's looking out over them, and Link's breath shows up. Like, come on, it's just so cool. But yes, let's go to Gerudo now. Gerudo. I kind of go between the two. I never picked one. This one I think is still pretty cool. It's probably the smallest of the three, but like the interior is just so interesting, and like well designed. There's just something to look at in every village, and that kind of goes back to like I had this moment. I think probably about a year after the game came out, I bought the Breath of the Wild book. I think it's like the Champions Guide or something like that, or Art of the Champions, something like that. Basically the book, like the design around Breath of the Wild, and I kind of had this moment that like it all came together, how impressive this game was, and like how much thought they really did put into it. Actually, let's put the sand boots on here, because really, if you just look, you wouldn't necessarily notice it all, but like every little detail, all these little stones, and like the designs of all these little things, and the outfits, and like the symmetry of these lanterns in here was all designed on purpose just to make it like as immersive as possible. And that is when I really was like, wow, this game is impressive. Every little thing. Because yeah, you really wouldn't notice it because it's not something that draws attention to it, but like every little fabric, all this little stuff in the background behind the shop was all designed by somebody and put there on purpose, which is just so fascinating. But yeah, like I said, this is kind of like the smaller village of the four, but still very cool. And you can go into her room, and she's got the little sand steel plushies. Oh, and she has a journal in here too. I guess I forgot about that. It's just so interesting. And then they have like the whole Yiga clan hideout over there. I kind of wish there was more things like that, like story driven quests, because that's really one of the few. Like the Zora, you go after the Lionel, and in the Goron, you have to save the guy, which is cool, but. And then the Rito, you have to do the archery thing, which is super lame. But yeah, actually, I don't know if I've ever been up here. I'm gonna go see what's on top of this thing. I'm sure it's just a Korok seed, but I'm gonna check it out anyway. Hello? Yeah, I've already got it. Never mind. Already done it. And there's like the oases out there, and the Moldugas. So cool. Alright. Then let's go to Rito. Which, favorite in terms of fan service, this one, I should have gone not on the island so we could see it from afar, but that's okay. Yeah, to see the Rito make a return in a 3D Zelda game was massively cool, even if they look, even if they look pretty different than, they did in Wind Waker. It's just so cool to see them return in this game. Another thing that made us wonder, like, what exactly, where did this game take place on the timeline? Maybe we'll put on the Champion's tunic. Like, and then you got Cass, and like all the little birds are singing. That's one of my favorite side quests, probably, like the children birds, the hide and seek game or whatever it was. And they have the Dragon Roost Island song hidden in the song that plays in the Rito Village. Oh, it's just so cool. And you get the bird perching on it all. Like, how fucking cool. And they're like bird nests. Like, oh, how long do you think it took to design just this? Like, that's the impressive stuff of this game. Not super as much to look at here from what I remember. What is this? Rusty Halberd. Did I ever finish? Hold on, that's another thing that I actually love about this game. I don't actually remember if I finished it. The Hyrule Compendium? No, I obviously did not. But I did quite a bit. I was trying to finish it for a while. I got quite a few out of here. But I take a picture of Hardy Truffle. Yeah, I didn't get... I was funny as a kid. Wow. I actually screenshot that. That's really funny to me. It's so juvenile. What is this one? Oh, God. Do I have any more like that? It doesn't look like it. Yeah, I was trying to get it all, but I've never really been a collector, like a completionist. That's what it is. You know, I don't really care about the 100%. It's just about having fun to me. Which, if that is fun for you, then obviously you're more than welcome to do that. It's just, you know, especially with this game, like the Korok seeds are not meant. There's so many of them, not because you need to complete them. It's because then you can find them literally anywhere, and I don't think people understand that. They're not meant to be completed. Too much to talk about. Alright, let's finish it up with a trip over to Goron City. Probably the place I've spent the least time in of all of them. So let's take another look here. Oh, I'm gonna get burned to death immediately as I teleport. Ugh. I hope you guys hope you guys are excited for the Tears of the Kingdom. And like I said, I'm going to try to get it out as soon as possible. Hopefully it will come fairly soon. But this will likely be going out on the day of Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom's launch. So I hope you guys are excited and enjoying Tears of the Kingdom. I haven't looked at any reviews or anything yet for it. I'm just very excited. Just completely keeping an open mind here. But yeah, the giant statue of all the Gorons, and like, I think isn't like Darunia on there? Like, isn't this Darunia? Which is like a direct reference to Ocarina of Time. Maybe it's not. I don't actually know that for sure. But yeah, this whole area is so cool. And I never noticed for the longest time that each city has a goddess statue. I didn't realize that. But each city does, and it's cool to try to find them all in each area. But like, you got the little, look at this stuff. It's just cute. It's just cute and cool that they put time and effort into all this. Can I step on this? Oh my god, I don't think I've ever done that before. I just like passed out in the lava. Alright, note to self. Can indeed burn yourself in there. And I actually have good memory of this song too, because in 2017, like late 2017, I went to New York City to listen to, or to the Symphony of the Goddesses show, which is like an orchestra that plays Zelda music. And this was the surprise song at the end. They played the Goron City theme, which was so cool. Because, you know, they had to play a Breath of the Wild song. But I think they didn't necessarily have time to practice too many of them because the game came out that year. But it's still cool that they picked this one. And it's such a bop. It's such a bop. I'm kind of getting nostalgic, guys, a little bit. I'm like, this might be the last time in a while that I play Breath of the Wild, and I've spent so much fucking time in this game. Let's finish it off. Why don't we let's go to my favorite area in the whole game. And the last city, technically, even though it's not one of the main cities. But, yeah, I think the Terrytown side quest, probably one of my favorite side quests in any video game. I just remember having such distinct, fun memories of doing this quest for the first time, and I thought it was so interesting and so cool. So let's go visit Terrytown real quick. As a final goodbye. And hopefully Terrytown is making a comeback in Tears of the Kingdom. But we'll see. Let's put on our outfit here. There it is, Terrytown. Built from scratch by me and Terry. Oh, and this is probably my favorite area of this game. What's it called? Akala. I love this area of the game so much. The like fall aesthetic, the waterfalls, and like the broken down, like bastion over there. So cool. Yep. Love this area. Just look how cool the houses look. Like, look at all the stuff they designed for each. Like, there's books in here, man. There's books. Like, how fucking cool is that? I'm gonna miss this game, guys. I'm getting emotional now. I love this area so much. And, like, I remember just spending so much time here. Like, just hanging out and, like, looking around, like, all this stuff. And you got the little Goron guy and the Rito selling the arrows. How am I going to say goodbye to this game? I'm so excited for tomorrow. Really hope that the game actually comes in time. Alright. Well, folks, I hope that you enjoyed this little walk down memory lane, and hopefully you have as good memories as I do of playing this game and everything. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We'll be playing our first experience with Tears of the Kingdom. I don't even know what to expect. I'm so excited, and if it's even like half the game that this game is, then we're in for a ride. We're in for a long, emotional ride that will completely change my perspective on video games. So, thanks for coming along on this journey with me, guys. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, folks.